I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into a terrific book. It is called Why a Book? Be Curious. It is a heartwarming and essential read written by a terrific author. His name is Stephen John Henry. It is designed to spark a love of reading in children. Written from a child's point of view, this gentle bedtime or anytime story uses expressive illustrations and simple language to engage young readers and motivate even the most reluctant ones. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight Network TV app streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Steve, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Great having you on the show. This is an important book. Why do you believe it's so essential that children learn to love reading at a young age?
As I said on the back cover, it is a tool that would help them have a successful life. And to me, that's very important. Of all the things, I do not have any children, but if I had children, their fundamental ability to read and ingest whatever it is would allow them to have a broader spectrum of opportunity in the future. They can do what they want. Otherwise, they have to do what they can.
That's a great way to put it. And it's very, very true. All learning is based upon reading. You have to be proficient in the language. You have to be a strong reader in order to get ahead in any subject, from history to even mathematics. So
True.
getting these skills going early on is important. Talk to us about writing the book from a child's point of view.
Well, how the book came around. First of all, I did not sit down one night and go, I think I'll write a children's book.
Mhm.
The process came from my background. A lot of children come from very abusive backgrounds, and I am the one that came from a very abusive and violent background, which affected my reading abilities and a number of things. So professions like doctor, attorney, scientist, and things like that require a tremendous amount of reading. That was not in the cards for me as such. So I grew up and I entered into the Coast Guard and ran search and rescue. That was my life. But now I can reflect back that if children have the ability to read and absorb the information that's out there, they have a bigger palette of life to enjoy.
Yeah, there's no limitations if you become a strong student. I mean, the world is really your oyster. But what you did for a career sounds exciting and interesting. So
It was.
you are no worse for the wear there. Probably more interesting than being a doctor and lawyer in many cases, no doubt. Talk to us. Let's give us the folks at home an overview of the book. What will they find within the pages?
Well, it was a combination of a number of things. First of all, I'm not a poet, but it rhymes. I am an artist, and so the images to support the rhyme was important. The gentleness of the book was intended to capture the child's interest. That's the child-to-child kind of interaction that I wanted, not looking down upon the child, but a more, how can I say,
on their level?
On the level, captivated, an interest, something unique sharing as such. And the book is intended to, obviously, to plant the seed of why it's important. If a child is a non-reader, it was originally written to be for the child who really isn't reading yet. But when you're putting the child to sleep, you want to read a little nighttime story to it. So it is directed to entertain. There's a little story to it.
Mhm.
And yet it's also to plant kind of question mark. Is this really something that would be good for me? And over time, as a child, the repetitiveness of reading the book, it is intended they catch that spark. I have not found any other books that really try to facilitate that interest at that non-reader level, that absolute child level. And so I put all those pieces together, and that's what finally unfolded.
Must have been wonderful working on this book. You crafted the prose or the poetry within, and then you also painted the pictures. And so this was a real labor of love for you, right?
It really was. It was like I said, I didn't sit down to at one night decide to do that. It's kind of like the pieces of the puzzle came together and said, you have the ability to put this together. It's a coherent statement. It is fun to read.
Mhm.
The adults that have read it come away with an understanding also of its value. It actually serves two purposes. An adult that reads it can grasp the joy and the possibilities that are there versus being a passive absorber of television um,
Yeah.
nonsense as such.
Yep, we got to get the kids away from these and get them more on books. That's for sure. Too many distractions, too many negative connotations come out of the phone. So get them into books instead. I think that's great. And also, it's such a wonderful bonding experience to have a good bedtime story to read to your children, don't you think?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
um, to
I mean, that was one of
it's
my fondest memories growing up. My mom tucking me in, saying prayers with me, and
right,
reading a story or telling me a story. I mean, those are great childhood memories, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And but once again, I won't be here forever.
Yeah.
But their ability to do what they want in the future will be. And
Yeah.
if I could put that book into every new parent's hands that has a new child, I would, because it's that important to me. Because I believe I wrote the book from experience.
Mm.
The kids need to read. Now, they can use the phone all they want,
Yeah.
but your ability to read is a gift. The simple ability to read is a gift we did not give ourselves. It came hardwired, but it needs to be fertilized
Hmm.
to make it part of the person's character.
Absolutely. Has to be a habit. And the focus and the concentration and the brain work and the mental aerobics that are needed to do reading are all essential and great for us at any age. Did you ever become a
Absolutely.
strong reader? Did you ever start reading more as you got older?
Well, uh, when I went into the service, you have to do a lot of reading.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the way I was able to make it is I would actually read the books backwards.
Hmm.
The reason for that, a tech manual, you have to learn all this stuff to be able to do this chore or
Hmm.
assignment. Well, I would go, well, what's the goal? And I would understand it. And then I would read backwards to see the path that they took to get to the goal. All the tech manuals, that's the way I was able to grasp what was necessary and do the job.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, this book is going to be helpful to so many children, no doubt, and their parents as well, because it's a family affair. You know, this is a book you intend to be read to the child until the child can read it by his or herself. And I think that's wonderful. The name of the book
Absolutely.
is Why a Book? It is a heartwarming and essential read written by Stephen John Henry. It is designed to spark a love of reading in children. It is a unique storytelling technique that the author has
I
used
believe so.
here. Yeah, without a doubt. It's from the child's point of view. It is a gentle bedtime story or anytime story that uses expressive illustrations and simple language to express and engage young readers and motivate them, even the most reluctant ones. If you're a parent
Right.
looking to invest in your child literacy and future success, this is the book you won't want to miss. Steve, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Been my pleasure. You take care.
Pleasure's been all mine, sir. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.